Welcome, everybody, to this week's podcast episode. This is episode number 1. First of all, I just want to say thank you all for being here today. I'm incredibly grateful for the support that you guys give to the channel. I think it's, I don't have any real marketing for this thing, so it really just is, things that you guys share with the people that you think that would connect with this sort of content. So thank you. I really am grateful. And I am grateful for all of the people in Atlas that are part of this community, that are part of this network, that are growing and learning these things and just being there for themselves. A lot of the times people ask me, why do you do this? Why do you care? And I care because really I used to be that man who was scared to, live the life that I wanted to live. I was scared that I wasn't ready, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't old enough, that I wasn't enough. And while I still do struggle with those fears at times, I feel them, I see them now, and I don't give them the same weight that they once had. I don't really care. I don't really care for those opinions anymore. I hear them, and I'm grateful that they're there because they challenge me. And then I notice whenever I feel those feelings of doubt, of fear come up, a lot of the times it means that I'm doing something right. So when I feel that, if anything, it tells me to go deeper, go harder, go stronger, go better. So this week, I really wanted to talk about women. I want to take a second and I want you to really think about this question. Is your value as an individual, as a man, derived from women's perception of you? Do you feel like my success, my value as a man comes from what a woman thinks of me? Now, you may not consciously believe that to be the case, but if you feel like, when I have a bigger wallet, then a woman will find me attractive. When I have abs, then she'll find me attractive. When I'm funnier, then she'll like me. All of these fears. These are fears. You feel like if I'm not rich, I won't have the love that I feel like I deserve. If I can't provide for my girl, that means I can't have the girl that I want. Those are all fears. Those are all very limiting beliefs. So this is the best and easiest way I can put it, because this is how I honestly came to the conclusion that my value is derived from women. For me, when I would talk with a girl, any time that she would either not respond to me immediately or respond to me longer than what it would take for me to respond to her, then I would start to feel I would start to feel anxious. I would start to feel stressed. I'd start to feel like, she's pulling away. She's doubting the situation. She is losing interest. And those thoughts would just creep into my mind and would make me feel like I'm just not enough. I'm just not good enough. There's something wrong with me, that there's a million other options out there, which there are, and you can have 1,000,001 excuses as to why you are not ready and as to why other men, other people are better than you or more prepared than you, etc. So let's take a step back. Is your value derived from women's perception of you? I want you to really pause the video if you need to. Talk about this with yourself. Try and understand, is it? Why, if it is? And if it's not, what relationship do I have with women? I want to share a little story about me a few years ago. When I was a sophomore in college, there was a girl that I was talking to at the time, and she was this beautiful girl. She was from Texas, and we were we were talking for a while, and it started off great. We went on several dates. We were having an amazing time. We would talk, we would laugh. I mean, it was a beautiful time with a beautiful girl, and a lot of my worries of myself went away. And then as we kept talking and as we kept doing things together, I felt more comfortable with her. And yet at the same time, I felt like there was a part of her that was pulling back or losing interest. And I had feared that so much going into the relationship that oftentimes I would talk myself out of it. If you're the type of man, if you're the type of person, honestly, to fear that a woman is losing interest in you and therefore automatically jump the gun and cut her off or stop messaging her, that is very much a fear of rejection. You know, I'm going to leave them before they leave me. And so I was in that position with this beautiful girl, and that is the mentality that I had. Now, I didn't totally break things off with her, but as soon as I noticed that, you know, she took longer to respond, or that she was, you know, doing things to I guess subconsciously show me that she is losing interest, I started backing off myself. Now, at the time, I remember thinking about it all day, every day. I was stressed. I was anxious. You know, I was sad. I was so sad. And I just didn't know how to control these feelings. I thought every man experienced this, or every man had to experience this, because that's just life. You know, if you're not talking to a girl, if you're not with a girl, that means that a part of you is missing. Right? Wrong. You don't have to feel that way. You don't have to feel like a part of you is gone just because you're not with a girl. You can have just as much fun. You can have just as much pleasure and happiness and fulfillment and joy in your life with or without a woman. And at that time, young me, young Odysseas, did not know that could happen. It could happen to me. It did happen to me, and it can happen to you. It can happen to anyone. And it's so simple. You know, exactly like I was asking you in the beginning, the question I want you to contemplate. You know, my happiness was derived off of what women thought of me, and this woman was very clearly losing interest in me. So if she's losing interest in me, it means that I must not be good enough, which means that if I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And so if I'm not worthy, my value, my perceived value is minimal. And so I see myself as less than, as not as good as. So I wanted to flip the script. I wanted to change something about me. I didn't want to feel this way anymore. I didn't want to feel like I was not good enough. I just didn't want to feel like a slave, honestly, to my emotions anymore. And if this is something that you struggle with, I want to give you the tool that I used, that I've worked on, developed, and it's so simple. But I want to give you this tool, and you can, in weeks and months, do the things that took me years to learn, and it's so simple. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what it is? Before I tell you, if you're sitting down and you're not driving or you're not busy, get a piece of paper, get a pencil, and I want you to create a list. I want you to create a list of everything, every single thing that you want from your partner. And I'm not talking physical attributes. You're welcome to write physical attributes, but I'm talking, personality. How do you want your partner to be? Do you want her to be patient? Do you want her to be forgiving, loving, empathetic, compassionate? Do you want her to care? Do you want her to listen when you talk? Do you want her to ask questions, to be curious about your day, about your life? Do you want her to be engaged? When you say something that might not be necessarily of her interest, would you want her to brush you off? Or would you want her to be there for you, to talk to you about it, to try and understand you? What do you want from your partner? Write it down. Write it down. Write at least 10 things down on a piece of paper. Do you want her to be ambitious? Do you want her to have big, grand goals? After you've written that down, I want you to realize deeply within yourself that this person, this ideal person that you've written down on this piece of paper right now exists and is yours and is here. She's on this earth and she is here ready, waiting for you. Right? So if that's the case, why don't I have her yet? Well, I'll tell you why. Because a lot of those items on your list, I want you to really think and ask yourself, do I have those traits? Do I have those qualities? Am I this person? More often than not, when I talk to guys and I do this exercise with them, the answer is almost a resounding no. And that is amazing. That is really, really good stuff to know, because now the roadmap is easy. So let me tell you, when you focus on yourself, everything else will fall in line. Believe what you want, spiritually, religiously, etc. But when you are surrounded by people who act a certain way, you too will become that person. So if you change yourself, your surroundings will also change. If you disidentify with the old person that you once were and you re-identify with this new image, this new person that you want to become and therefore are, then you can completely change your reality. So of that list that you wrote down, what qualities are important for you to have? And really, if you want this in someone, you need to adopt all of, or as many of those as you can. If you want someone that's patient, be patient with others. Do you honk when someone cuts you off on the road? Do you scream or shout at someone that is impatient with you? Do you talk shit about someone that you don't like? These are all things, these are all opportunities for us to grow, become the person that we want to become, and then we will surround ourselves, or those people will end up surrounding us. And eventually you will find this person because you are now aligned with that type of personality. If you wonder why all the girls that you've been with have been, pieces of work, you really have to find that answer within yourself. People are really a reflection of us, in a way. So let me share with you a few of the patterns that I decided to work on for myself, that I wanted to work on so that I could attract the person that I wanted. And the first action that I chose to do is that I chose to do one thing intentionally every single day that was going to get me out of my comfort zone. Something that was going to challenge me. right? So I want someone who will always challenge themselves. That was something that I wrote down at the time. And so I then said, am I challenging myself enough? Am I doing enough things in my life to where I feel like I'm growing? You know, if you don't learn something new, if you don't do something new, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that makes you scared every day, no matter how big or small, you know, you are not necessarily growing, and that's okay. If you don't want to do that, then that's okay. But that's something that's really important to me, and that's something that I really want, and that's what I want my partner to be like. So I then made the decision that I am intentionally going to do one thing every single day that scares me. That was simple activity, something that is going to make me uncomfortable. I went and I spoke to a stranger. And then I did it again the next day. And then I did it again the next day. And it wasn't a woman that I was talking to or anything. I would walk up to a stranger. I would see, oh, I like your hoodie. I like your hoodie, man. I like your shoes. Oh, I love your hair. What hair product do you use? Oh, I love the way that you smell. What cologne are you using? What perfume are you using? Oh, I love that colored dress on you. It looks beautiful. It's simple. It's simple. You know, it's scary. It's scary doing that. And it is something that I was very scared of, talking to complete strangers. But it's not bad once you've done it 100 times. It's easy. So now I can do that absolutely no problem. I can talk to anyone. I could talk to a wall and have a good conversation. And that's something I wanted for myself. That's something I wanted within my partner. And well, I found that. So do with that what you will. Now, another thing is that I noticed I was very hard on myself. So what I chose for me, and what a lot of young men tell me constantly, is that when I am rich, then I will do all of these nice things for myself. But that is not, like, you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to be happy when you're rich. You can be happy right now. In fact, the fastest way that you can get rich, the fastest way that you can not just get rich, but be happy when you're rich, even before you're rich, is by doing things that you enjoy, by doing things that you love for you, because you're worth it. You are worth it right now. You know, you are worthy of nice things. If you want sushi, if you want to go get a sushi dinner, but you don't have anyone to go with, I get it, you know, it might be a little weird, quote unquote, to go and do this, but who cares what people think? Go have a sushi dinner all by yourself. You are allowed. If there's a nice pair of shoes that you saw at the mall that you said, wow, I really like that, but I can afford that right now. I want to make some money and then I'll do it. And then I'll go. And then I'll buy it. And then. No, dude, no. You are worth it right now. And I'm not saying go make stupid financial decisions, by no means. Obviously, do things with discernment, with intentionality. Don't buy everything you want all at once. But if you've been really wanting this pair of shoes, there was these beautiful shoes I saw in Japan. There was these Onikotsu tigers or something like that. I don't remember. But there were these beautiful shoes that I really wanted. And I fell back into those old patterns of like, oh, well, you know, I'm already tight on my budget for this trip. So I think I'll sit this out. And then I realized, when is the next time I'm in Japan? I mean, I'm going to get these shoes. I'm going to love these shoes. I'm going to love these shoes until the day that I throw them out. And I bought those with so much love, so much excitement for myself that it became an event. You know, I was buying this for me because I love it. And it was a gift from me to me. And I'm so grateful for it because it made me feel good. It made me feel worthy, like I am enough, like I am worth good things. And you are too. You know, do nice things for yourself. And you don't have to go and break the bank every time you do it. If you notice, like, oh, you know what? I'm going to floss my teeth today. That is a form of self-love. That is a form of self-endearment. You're allowed to do that. So go do something that is for you. And that is what was on my list. I wanted to do something for me at least once a day, no matter how small or big it was. And it made me feel worth it. And the more worth it I felt, the more I tuned out all of that noise of other people telling me, you're not good enough, you're not ready, you're not this, you're not that, you're not that. I am, and I'm ready. I am ready, and I am here for myself. And if I have my own back, I don't need anyone else to have my back. It's nice. But if I know that if I'm in deep shit, right, I can get myself out of it. I have the self-love, I have the self-respect, and I know I have the tools to overcome everything. Because no matter what, I was scared of that test. I was scared of that, asking that girl out, of asking for a promotion. I was scared of all these things, but at the end of the day, I did it, and here I am, unscratched, not a single scar. I'm okay, and you will be too. And that's what we're just trying to instill in you. That you are enough, that you are worthy. These activities are all meant to bring you closer to you. I know I'm getting a bit long on this now, so let me run through a few more of the exercises I did, and you're welcome to adopt as much or as few as you want. This is a cycle. This is not a do-it-yourself experience. This is a community experience, so I do welcome you to look into Atlas Network, apply, see if this is something that you can participate in, and you'll grow with us. And I welcome all of you. Apply. See what happens. The next one was affirmations, daily affirmations. That's simple, and I know you've heard it before, but daily affirmations, I am enough. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am handsome. Whatever. The best affirmation is, what is something that you struggle with, right? For me, it was always fear of not being good enough. So I would run through this exercise. I would do this exercise that said, the current fear, I am unworthy. And then I would say, I used to, insert fear, feel like I am unworthy. Today, I am worthy of good things. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of money. Whatever it is for you, that is a great formula. I am worthy of blank. Or I am strong. Or I am loved. I am powerful. Whatever it is for you. Daily affirmations are incredible. And whatever affirmation you choose, you don't have to stick with it for ever and ever and ever. I switch mine daily. I say mine maybe a few times a day, 20, 30 times a day. But again, it's whatever feels good for you. Whatever feels good for you. Good hygiene. Do you take care of yourself? Do you make your bed in the morning when you get up? Do you brush your teeth, and do you wash your hair? Do you wash your ass? I really don't feel like I should be asking that these days, but I really feel like I should be asking a few men that. Do you wash your ass? Good hygiene is a sign of someone who cares about themselves. So, take what you will from that, but take care of yourself. You're worth it. And that's just another thing to prove to you that you are worth it. Floss. Eat healthy. Sleep earlier. Wake up earlier if you can, if necessary. Get enough sleep. Drink enough water. Take care of yourself, because you're worth it. And once you start showing yourself that you're worth it, you'll start to believe that you're worth it. I want to share a little story of me that really helped me grow and really just apply everything that we learned here. And I used to be so scared, like I shared earlier in this episode, I used to be so scared to talk to women or being rejected by women that a lot of the times if I saw a woman that I was attracted to, I'd be way too scared to say anything to her, way too timid or shy, right? So in 2025, last year, I made a New Year's resolution. I made a resolution on January 1st. I said, I will overcome my fear of rejection by the end of the year. And I set that timeline, I made it specific, and then I did it. And my God, was it scary. My God, was it fucking terrifying in the beginning. Let me tell you, I made a goal to talk to one new person a month. One new person a day, I should say. And that tied in with my fear of rejection, talking to one new person a day. And it was scary, I found any excuse to talk to anyone, just like what I was saying earlier. I talk to people at the gym, and despite some people just kind of giving me like a weird look or kind of, feeding into those fears and that reality telling me like, oh shit, like maybe I am being weird. Maybe people do think I'm weird, blah, 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 blah. No, man. I push past that. Push past that. You can, and you will. And when you do, you will feel like you are enough, because you are enough. And I lived it myself. I experienced the change, and it is so electrifying. It just feels so liberating knowing that no matter what, man, I can do it. I made new friends at the gym. In 2025, when I started this, I started making new friends at the gym. That's kind of like my happy place, the gym. I'd go and I would just talk to one new person every single day. And if I talked to the same person, the same stranger that I spoke to before, that was additional points for me. I felt more comfortable talking to strangers. If I had a question or wanted to, I was at a cafe once. That's funny. My brain is like wired right now. I'm excited. I was at a cafe once, and as a part of my exercise, as I was ordering my coffee, I asked the barista lady, I was like, oh man, like those look like really good cookies in the over there in like the little like stand with all the pastries and stuff. I said, oh, wow, those look like good cookies. Can I have one? Can you just like give me one? She was like, did you want to pay for one? Like buy one? I was like, no, like, can I just have a free cookie? And she said no. Okay. But that's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is like, I put myself out there. I made a challenge of myself for someone to say no to me. And a lot of people are scared of being said no to. So I asked the lady, she said no, and I did trigger my fear of rejection a little bit, but at the same time I noticed, wow, it's not so bad. I could handle no. I can handle that. What's the worst she's gonna say? Like, get the fuck out of my store. Okay. Then I get the fuck out of her store, and then what? Who fucking cares? I go to another coffee shop. I didn't even ask anything that bad. It's so unscary. It's so unserious once you like start to realize like, oh, you know what? This actually ain't so bad. And then yeah, funny, ha 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 ha. I would walk up to a girl that I found pretty on the street, at the gym, in my classes, at work, more recently. I would talk to them. I would tell them, wow, I think your dress is really pretty. I think your eyes are really pretty. Whatever, and not necessarily like I want to get anything out of the conversation or that I'm trying to get her number or anything. And if you do, whatever, like that's also part of that overcoming of the fear of rejection, which I did do many of those exercises as well. But the just talking to someone that I found attractive was challenging, was scary. And so I did it. And now it's easy. It's easy. It really just is It's like going to the gym, the more you lift, the easier it gets. If you benched 100 pounds on your very first day at the gym, you would be crushed alive. But if you stayed at that 100 pounds and lifted that every single day for 3 years, for 2 years, for 1 year, for 6 months even, for 3 months even, you would find it so easy. You would find it so easy by the end. You would laugh. You would laugh after those 3 months if I told you to do 1 rep. Same exact philosophy here. It's the same exact philosophy. I did a bunch of these exercises, and they were terrifying in the beginning. January, February, I was so scared. And then you start to ease up. Then you start to feel more natural, more free-flowing. Things don't bother you as much. I started to feel more comfortable to say or do anything around anyone. Obviously within reason, but, I wasn't scared of what people thought of anymore. Because I knew, A, I'll be okay, and B, I can handle it. And C, it's my value, my worth is derived from me. Not from you, from me. From what I think of me. Now from there, the really sexy part was that from there, all of these exercises that I was doing month over month now made uncomfortable conversations very easy. So let me tell you a secret, and actually, why don't you come a little closer so you can really absorb this knowledge. Once you start to do those exercises and start to overcome that fear of talking to people, of again, getting no's, and they don't bother you as much. Once you start doing that, then you could do the things that really matter. What do I mean? I mean that you could easily go up to your current boss, look him in the eyes, and say, I deserve a raise. And you can say it with so much certainty and conviction and strength in your voice that rather than them looking at you and saying, get out of here, they really feel the weight of your voice and they take you seriously. And that is exactly what I did. I asked for a raise, and then when I got a raise with more responsibilities, a few months later, I went back and asked for another raise. And guess what? I got it. And then I got another raise at the same job. I was promoted 4 times in 9 months because of it. Now, if you're someone that's lazy and might not get the job done very well, then don't expect the same results just because you're not afraid of being told no. Work hard and you will get everything. But the point of this exercise is to learn that, you are worth it. And if you feel like you're worth it, other people will see that as well. And that is powerful. So, I welcome you to really think today about this conversation. I want you to really ask yourself, why do I care so much about what women think of me? What do I have to learn from this experience? Where are my limiting beliefs as they relate to women? Where are my limiting beliefs around making money? Am I scared of rejection? And if I am scared of rejection, why? What does that mean? What am I scared of? Ask yourself. Be curious for the first time in your life. Be curious. Wonder why? Why me? You can have everything that you want in this life. You just have to ask. Ask, and you shall receive, my friend. The power is yours. The power is yours. Now it is your responsibility to take it and run. Run with it. Go do what you want. If you found this helpful, tell me, how could this have been more practical for you? What else could I have done for you to derive more value from this podcast, from this episode? I also want to say a big thank you for every single one of you that supports this podcast, that supports this episode. I am grateful for all of you. You are all here because you want amazing things for you. And if that is truly what you want, and that is truly who you want to become, someone who is valued, someone who is valuable, I welcome you to look more into Atlas Network. This is a network of men that I run and started and founded. And if you're just looking to make more friends, if you're looking to improve your mentality, your mindset, if you're looking to deepen your network of friends, of professionals, of business partners, if you're looking to create new skills, I welcome you. Look into this network. Apply. Apply to join. And maybe we'll see you in there. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, blessed day, and I will see you all next Friday. Thank you. Take care.